Gross. Hello, everyone.
Welcome to the first episode
of the podcast.
The first podcast.
Well, technically it would be episode 0, but it would be, in for all intents and purposes, the first episode of a podcast that we are making.
Okay, I got you. Welcome to the first Quip Save podcast. That's not the title. That's just what this is.
It is, yes. The title is...
To be decided.
To be decided. It's going to be decided once we upload it, but right now we just don't know because we did not think ahead of that.
I mean, there's only about 20 names on that list of yours there.
That's true.
It's just very hard to decide on a name between just two people.
Yeah, that's true.
This is why we need the gremlin, the little gremlin in the closet.
The gremlin's on vacation right now.
To be the final say.
He's on vacation right now. He didn't ask us for vacation time. He just said, I'm leaving, and he left. I'll be back eventually.
You should really have more control of that little monster.
Yeah, but last time we tried to rein him in, you know what happened.
Chains that's unethical. So.
No, they didn't even work either way. So even if they weren't unethical, he just broke free of them.
Just chewed right through them.
You know what happened the last time we restrained him? You lost a pinky, and we had to get another one.
Got some spiky little teeth.
Yeah, really sharp little teeth. But welcome to our first attempt at a podcast. This is going to be kind of like a test podcast, I guess, because we're going to get into the situation on why later, but just enjoy it for now. You probably already know what's going on. I'm Gabe, and I'm here with Mr. Munch Boy.
It's me, Ariel.
Hey, say mismo. And we're just going to talk to you about today of just like in a little bit of less of a jokey way and more of just like actually explaining better what's going on.
There will be about 50% less dick jokes.
50%, but only 50%. Sometimes we can make room for 60, but for the usual, it'll be 50%. We're just going to be explaining like what Quip Save is, where did this come from, because like it did really just come out of left field. We just dropped it on you guys one day, and what we plan to do with it, like going forward. Well, we also sound a little groggy right now because we just had some delicious Shake Shack.
I'm good, dude. I don't know about you.
Really?
I'm never groggy. Don't even know the word.
It's just like I ate that Shake Shack and it was good.
I think you're just really trying to get that podcasty voice out.
Am I?
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Do I have like a different voice from my usual Let's Plays?
A little bit. Like you're trying to be that like radio person right now.
Is it very sultry?
Like,
do you like it?
I can't even do it. Like I don't know.
Don't push yourself there.
I know, man. It's too forced for me. I guess for you it's fine. So keep doing it, man.
Well,
keep at it.
It took a lot of practice because like
you practiced for this.
Yes, because like okay, so like not a lot of people know that I actually have a little bit of an ambition of like getting into voice acting at some point. Not maybe not being my main thing, but never say never. But I would definitely like to have like voice acting as like a little side thing I could do. So like I've spent like ever since I was a kid, before I even knew what voice acting was, before I could even conceptualize that there were actors who were playing the voices of my cartoons and they weren't just actually the cartoon characters, I would always like try and imitate the voices of like cartoons I liked or like movie characters.
So this has been a lifelong dream of yours that could now maybe down the line,
maybe, who knows?
If the paper fell on your desk and said Oni-chan, this is your role. You take it.
Role. Take it. I would love to play an Oni-chan one day. That'd be great. But yeah, I've had to practice that very like low tone, kind of gravelly situation going on there.
Little piccolo there.
Little.
Chris Sabat inspired.
Yeah. But eventually you get to it. There are some days where I just can't do it, where my voice gets too cracky, and I just can't do it. But most of the time I can. But practice makes perfect.
It's all those crack rocks, man.
Yeah.
You're playing a lot of Kakarot recently.
A lot of Kakarot recently.
A lot of games in general, because that's what this whole channel is.
We literally spent like the last 3 days, like wake up, eat something, record, get dinner, record,
eat again.
Record. Yeah.
It really has been like, instead of that eat, sleep, rinse, repeat kind of thing, we just play games in between pretty much.
It's just recording. Like you guys have no idea. You have a lot of stuff coming in the next like week or so. For now, we're like trying to get to a certain point with Temtem and Kakarot, and probably by the time this podcast comes out, maybe, who knows, Oh, we've already reached that point? Because the situation actually is...
yeah, we should give a little context here of what's like why this is just episode 0 for now, and the podcast will officially begin sometime in April, I would say. So right now you're here in Chicago at my apartment.
I am. That is true.
First time in Chicago.
First time in Chicago.
First time anywhere more north than Florida. Oh wait, no, you've been in New York before.
I have.
A long time ago.
That's East Coast, you know.
Yeah.
That's like. Everything East Coast is pretty much samesies, I guess, in some way, shape, or form. I've been all along the East Coast in like a road trip, but yeah, this is the farthest north I've ever been. It's fucking cold, man. but I dig it because like I spent all my life in the fucking tropics, and I'm kind of like a bulky, hairy boy. So I feel like I wasn't like...
You fit right in?
I wasn't made to be in the tropics because I sweat easy and I get hot easy.
Oh, in the tropics. You fit in here is what I meant.
I fit in here better because
you're
I
like
can
naturally...
handle the cold. Yeah. I'm naturally like...
warmed.
Yeah, I could thermate myself like a bear. But yeah, basically I came here, I think it was like, what, the 19th of January?
I don't even remember, but it's almost been 3 weeks?
It's been 3 weeks. Tomorrow it'll be exactly 3 weeks.
Dang.
And we came here to pretty much start Quip Save. And we did it kind of like a test run because this is a thing that we've been trying to do for a very long time. Like
there were even, one, I guess, failed attempt.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Back in high school.
Which was what, like 2011? Jeez.
I think even earlier than that, maybe even 2010.
No, I don't think so. Because you would have been like...
I was in the 10th grade in 2010.
What?
And you were in the 11th grade.
I guess so. Half of it. Because that's how, schools work, but...
But we made Trolling Cone, the legendary Trolling Cone. Maybe there are some people in the audience that came from MunchingOrange who will remember that. But we tried, and a bunch of different...
well, it was also a throuple back then.
Yeah, there was like 3 of us.
Which is... I found in my experience with co-op channels, collab channels, the lesser the easier.
The lesser the better.
And that's like very clear, like less people to handle, less conflicting ideas and all that. But
it was just a bunch of conflicting ideas. Well, not really between me and Munch, mostly the third person who we will keep anonymous just because like, hey, no hard feelings and none of that stuff. But like me
the past is in the past.
Me and Munch were pretty much on the same page for like pretty much all the creative ideas and like what we wanted to do with the channel. We were just doing it for fun.
Except when you wanted to open that OnlyFans Patreon thing, where we sell our undies. That was kind of weird.
I actually wanted to create the domain name OnlyFans, and I told Munch if we could just charge a premium.
We would have sold it for $6 billion. We would have never known.
And see, you fucked it. You told me no, stop being such a pervert. That's a terrible idea. And look at us now. We look like fools.
Okay, maybe we should clarify that part's a joke since we said we're not joking in this podcast, but...
I mean, it's kind of inevitable.
We did make a channel back in the day, though. That was very true.
Yeah,
Trolling
and it didn't
Cone.
work out. I think it's still up.
Yeah, I was hesitant to say whether we should say that or not, because now people are going to go dig up those videos maybe,
whatever, dude. Like...
That's in the past. I don't really care.
I've always been just like, oh no, people are going to find my old stuff and it's going to be cringe and blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, just like, I think it's important to keep up because it reflects your growth and how much you've changed.
I'm the same way. I deleted maybe like 1-2% of my MunchingOrange videos. Like it's all still there from the very, very beginning.
I mean, literally last night you were showing me like your Mario 64 Let's Play.
Oh yeah.
Like from back in 2010.
That was like 2009, dude.
Yeah.
Even before we met at that point.
That shit was crazy.
It's crazy.
But no, yeah, it's up there, so you can look for it if you want. We don't recommend it, but you can.
Yeah. Hey, the Minecraft was pretty good.
Yeah,
Minecraft is always a good time.
Yeah. We showed that in like your little video.
The trailer, yeah.
Yeah.
Quip Save announcement.
Yeah. But no, yeah, we tried it, and this has been a thing we've been trying to do for a very long time, but circumstances have always gotten in the way. Like, you moved out, like, immediately as you graduated high school. You went to Florida, and me,
Oh,
I
dude,
was still in
trying
my
to
last
pursue
year.
YouTube with the Puerto Rican internet.
No,
that
wasn't gonna work out. That wasn't gonna work
I
out
was.
at all.
You say your uploads are fine, but for me, it took literally overnight plus like an extra 5 hours.
Well, because internet has gotten
to upload one
only
video.
slightly better
Yeah.
as the years have gone by. So now it's not as bad as it was back then, but it's still not good. Like, so you made the right choice on that regard. But I still had like a year of high school left, so I couldn't exactly pursue that, nor did I know if I wanted to.
Yeah.
I was still in that state of my life that I wasn't sure what I was going to do.
And we had very similar backgrounds, where I think both of us were like not really sure what exactly we wanted to do, but we liked animation, game design, and that type of thing.
We were creatives.
Yeah.
We knew that we just wanted to make. We just didn't know exactly what we wanted to make and how we wanted. You knew a lot more than I did because you already had your channel going. And I was literally there when you got your fist.
Really expected that would be like my career, you know,
yeah.
at that point in high school.
No one ever really does.
Yeah.
You know, and like I was there when you got your first like big paycheck.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That. When we went to see like Avengers 2012, I remember that.
It was wild times, dude.
It was crazy. And then I went like to college in Florida. You were doing well for yourself, and like we always kept in touch, and we always kind of played with the idea of it. But again, the circumstances, I was going through college, and like I wanted to make sure I finished. I didn't want to. I'm not the kind of person who likes to leave things like half finished or a challenge like incomplete. But now that I'm graduating in May and I only have one class left and I'm taking it as an online course, we said, now's the time.
Hell yeah, dude.
Let's do it.
Fucking little completionist out here.
I am a little Gerard the completioner.
Hey, I respect that, man. I could like not put myself through it. I literally, when I first moved to Florida, actually, I signed up to try to do screenwriting. And because my SAT, I did all right, but I didn't do the writing section at all. I literally left it blank. So, but they saw like potential or something. So they wrote me an email like, hey, we want you to do this essay just to see how you write. And they would have like accepted me. But at that point was when I like really decided like, nah, I'm just going to focus on YouTube. And that was literally right when Pokemon X and Y came out, which was like my first really big like LP, you know?
Yeah.
Like Black and White was also pretty big, but X and Y I would say was what mostly propelled me to where I am now.
I remember like at around the time when Black and White came out, that's when you hit like 20K. That was like a big deal.
And then X and Y was just crazy.
Yeah, X and Y just.
So that was, I would say, like when I really decided like that's YouTube is what I want to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, eventually I guess we kind of stayed in touch, like you said, and you know, years have passed. I've been long burned out from Pokemon now.
Yeah, that's and we don't say that kind of in a negative way. We say it kind of like in a way when you do something long enough, and without like too much change or variety going into it, burnout is inevitable. It doesn't mean that you lose like your love for it or your passion for it, but you start to realize that you have love and passion for other things, and you want to try to nurture and explore all the love and passion that you can. So if you keep yourself stuck in that same cycle, it can lead to a point where you do resent the fact that you had to stay stuck with this and you didn't really spread your wings in other things.
I think doing anything for too long, the same thing for a period of time over and over, can get you to that state. Like there was something I was watching recently on Dragon Ball, you know, like even Toriyama himself, after doing the Dragon Ball original series, then Z, and then like late towards like the Buu saga, you can kind of feel like he's getting a little tired of it, you know, like it doesn't feel the same.
Yeah.
So it can really happen to anyone is the point.
Yeah, and it has happened. You hear that from like all kinds of YouTubers, content creators, actors, singers. It happens to everybody. And like that's why you see that there's so many people who like transition into other things. I mean like just an example off the top of my head, even Markiplier. Yeah, he still does his gameplay stuff, but now he has this other channel he's doing where it's just like he's posting a video every year, and at the end of the year, he's going to delete the whole thing.
Yeah, and they've been doing like way different content, stuff that is more like on the trending side.
Exactly,
like,
and it's things that they want to do and
5-minute crafts.
And that's kind of like what Quipsave is, you know. Quipsave was an opportunity not only for me to finally like stretch my creative like legs and like go into what took me a while to realize. I just want to create content and I want to entertain people. I want to make them laugh. I want to make them like, I want to inspire them too. And then on Munch's side of things, it's an opportunity for him not only to like bounce.
Well, let me fucking speak for myself. God damn it. What are you, my little spokesperson?
You told me you were a little nervous last time we started. You said, "Oh, please, can you hold my hand while we're talking?"
Well, we've been holding hands this whole time.
We have. They're actually pretty sweaty.
Yeah.
You might need to wipe those down. Well,
get away.
You could be a little bit less violent about it. But anyways, your side of it.
I mean, I've actually noticed just in the last 3 weeks that we've been here recording, setting up for hopefully until April when we really, get kickstarted on things, which we'll talk about in a second. But I've always loved commentating games. That's like a given, even before I made anything of it. I started doing it just kind of to vent a little bit. Honestly, I treated my channel almost like a diary,
Yeah.
And obviously nowadays it's not really the same, because when you reach a certain point, I'm not going to be there like, oh man, my mom said this today, or like this one person made fun of me at school.
It's not exactly story time.
Yeah. And I think that's partly why I kind of like did eventually start wanting to seek out different kind of ways to, put content out there, because that is what I love doing originally. But as you grow more and more, you want to like make different content, go bigger, harder,
Faster, stronger.
But at the same time, in doing that, I kind of lost what I originally liked about it, just like chilling, talking on the mic over games, and that's kind of what I feel like Quipsave has kind of relit the spark for me with, because it's a whole different dynamic having you here, but also just being able to be myself more so. Because that's what, like, the
because, like, with the Pokemon thing, like, it's a little bit more of a kid-friendly channel, and, like, you play, like, kind of like a slightly altered version of yourself, where you kind of have to, like, tone yourself down.
That's what I meant. Like, it went more from, like, a diary thing to, the guy that plays Pokemon.
The guy that plays Pokemon and doesn't say, it doesn't say, oh, shit. It doesn't say, drop the F-bomb. But I mean, that's also what I was gonna mention. It was like a thing where where I'd imagine you feel like you could just be you.
Yeah.
While you're also doing your thing, you could, and then you could try things that you want to try that you usually wouldn't be able to get away with on your own channel.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing. Like, being able to fulfill that creative side of just being myself on a daily kind of gameplay thing will satisfy that need, but then will also give me more time to do the bigger, better stuff that I've been wanting to do forever on MunchingOrange, that I guess maybe I've been a little scared to try out, just because, there's clearly a thing that works and you want to do that thing and people want to see that.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing.
You also got to take risks with YouTube. That's what I've learned over the years, You got to try new stuff out and kind of like do the trends as well. Like, there's a lot to it, but...
Yeah, and it's terrifying. It's terrifying at times. It's scary taking that step, taking that risk, because it even was for me. Like, I mean, for you guys at home to understand, like, I went to like a really expensive college when I came out of high school, thinking I knew what I wanted to do. I went into like game art design, with a minor in illustration, and like I quickly figured out that wasn't what I wanted, because like, I loved video games growing up. That's probably extremely evident. And I thought that meant that I would want to make them. I was super sure of it. And I went to Ringling College of Art Design, Sarasota, Florida.
The Ringling Brothers.
The Ringling Brothers. I went to Clown College, as we used to say over there. And I was the Joker before it was cool. But, I went there. I studied for 2 years. And, like, I was broken up, I would say. That's the only way I could describe it, because it took me hard to realize that I made a mistake. And, like, I realized I didn't fucking like it, dude.
At what point would you say that hit? Like,
literally the second year, at almost the halfway point. Because, like, that's when they started putting us into coding and into computer labs, and it was the most obnoxious, fickle.
Well, because from what I understand, even in Ringling, right, the first year of college, you're always going to do that, like, basic stuff, like the general eds, is that what you call it?
Yeah, but it was only the first year. After that,
so then is when you really realize, like, this is the thing that I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life, maybe.
Yeah, and I hated it. I absolutely despised it. But, like, you have to understand, tuition was $25,000 a semester.
A semester?
A semester.
Not even a year. That's twice a year. Jesus.
So I came out of Ringling with a student loan debt of like $75K.
And there's like, I mean, there's probably ways to like lessen that, but like, holy shit. Okay.
Yeah. That's, and like, you can imagine how tough it was for me to come to the decision that I need to leave, because I already invested so much time and so much money, just to realize that the thing that I invested so much time and so much money into ended up being a mistake.
Oh, man. I mean, yeah, I guess, like, you know what they say, better pull it out.
Yeah.
Better late than never. Because if you got further down the hole, like,
it would have been even worse.
You might have been miserable right now in whatever you'd be working in. Plus, on top of that, you'd still be
I would have had the debt.
basically working your life, your whole life, maybe to not even pay it off.
Exactly.
And
it dropping out was one of the hardest and most like soul shattering.
Wow. Like that just made me think, like, how many people might actually just be stuck in that right now, you know?
I have friends of mine who are stuck in that. Friends of mine who's graduated and they're now like $200,000, $300,000 in student loan debt.
Jesus. And there's really like no, or I guess there, like, unless you're gifted or get a scholarship or something,
or your
right?
parents are loaded.
Yeah.
I had a scholarship and it didn't even pay like a fraction.
Jesus.
I had a scholarship. I graduated high school with like 3.80 something GPA. And I had a good scholarship. And since I graduated from an art college too, I had another scholarship. I had 2 scholarships, and none of them.
And it's barely scratched the surface. Wow.
And I'm saying that because I came out of that like very downtrodden. I was just like, what am I gonna do now? I'm in the shits. This sucks. I haven't even started my life, and I am in crippling debt. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I can't imagine, because that's like something that you think would happen way later in life, or not, hopefully never, you know?
Mm-hmm, never, hopefully.
But like right out of the gate, basically, if this was like our life is an RPG, when we get out of college or high school, depending on the situation, for some people it happens even earlier, but that's like when you really start your character, you know? Yeah. Like you got your stats that you already built up, you've got your personality from growing up.
Yeah.
And you're starting with a 70 kid, like, Jesus.
And
Tom Nook
came and fucked me, bro. But it was actually my grandfather who like came up to me at one point and he went like, "Hey, bud, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. You fucked up.
Damn.
But it's not the end of the world. You know, your life started now, and yeah, it sucks to start life like this, but life goes on, and you could either just like stay stuck in a rut and have nothing happen, or improvise." And I know I'm not saying that's the solution to anyone who's like going through a depression or something, but it did work for me, and I appreciated the honest words of my grandfather, because they were enough for me to go like, it like something woke up in me. Something just went like, fuck, he's right. Like I could just like wallow in my own self-pity, or I could do something. I could try something. And part of that trying something was like getting a little bit more into like my creative side.
That was your reawakening.
Yeah, that's what like made me realize that I got to take this time to just figure out what I want.
Shout out to the Gramps, man.
Oh yeah, my Gramps is like one of my best friends. But I went to college like in Puerto Rico, where I could pay it off like with just like the grant money that I had. I didn't have to pay for it. I went into like a graphic design department. I met some people who also influenced my decisions. Shout out to like my college friends, specifically Jen and OJ. You guys know who you are. Seeing the environment and seeing how other people also have it rough, but like they're still trying and stuff. And obviously there are the people who aren't and all that stuff, but the people who are, it kind of like made me rediscover that passion that I just want to make things that not only make me happy but make other people happy. And that manifested in me like continuing with my own YouTube channel, even if it was just like a hobby, like keeping like improving my skills in graphic design and editing and like sound mixing and all this stuff. And eventually that led into me like coming more into contact with you again, because there was a period of time where like we weren't as in contact as we used to be, which were probably in those 2 years of college. But going down that YouTube path again and like continuing to play League, who would have thought League would have been some kind of positive influence on my life? got me back into contact with you, and eventually like.
Well, that could be like a whole different episode of a podcast, man.
Yeah,
like,
how League changed my life.
I think it's changed a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
Like in a lot of ways, but it does bring people together. That's video games in general. You know, it's definitely not always a positive community, but it does have positive.
It does have its points, and like one of those points was like I decided to go save up money, get a 9-to-5 job, which I hate. Save up money to go to RTX and tell you, hey, let's go to RTX together, and let's like talk. Let's take that opportunity to talk and like what's been going on with you, what's been going on with me. And I would say that was like the turning point where we were like those 5 days together, and we saw like the convention, and that was like kind of like a north guiding star of just like this could be us one day.
And this is actually a great segue, because RTX, for those who don't know, is Rooster Teeth Expo.
Yeah, the Rooster Teeth Expo
in Austin, Texas.
Yeah. And
we went last year.
No, it was like 2 years ago.
No way.
We went 2018, I think.
What?
Yep.
What happened in 2019?
We didn't go in 2019.
There's no way it was that long ago.
Yes, it was. It was, I can promise you.
What did I do in 2019? So either way, what was their? How many years have they been running that?
RTX, I think
they're pretty far into it, because like it was a very elaborate, like super well put together like convention, like huge. At this point,
it's massive.
To those of you that have been to PAX, which I'm more familiar with, I would say it was on par. But this is something that, if you don't know, Rooster Teeth. What they literally started doing just YouTube.
5 dudes in an apartment. Not even YouTube. This was long before YouTube. This was like in 2000 and maybe like 2001, 2002.
Let's just say internet videos then.
Yeah, they
like
opened
even
up their
before
own website.
YouTube was a thing.
And they started with Red versus Blue, and it was like they always start the story in the same way: 5 dudes in a bedroom. And they started this YouTube show called not YouTube.
And they all shared one bed.
They started this show, Red versus Blue, and
here we are.
Here they are. Like, it just goes to show that you never know.
Any kind of creative passion could lead you to something crazy. Like, I mean, Game Grumps are another crazy story. Mm-hmm. I don't think they have their own convention, but they have like live shows and things.
Yeah, they do like live shows, and they do tours, and like it really just is that. It's just sometimes you have to take the chance, because like
you never really know where it's going to go.
Red versus Blue was just them taking a chance, and Game Grumps was Aaron, and it started with Aaron and John taking a chance, and then eventually Aaron and Danny. And that's kind of like what seeing that convention like put in our head. At that point, we hadn't like, it wasn't like, yes, let's start Quip Save now. It was still more of just like a thing like, let's keep in touch.
The idea was bubbling. Yeah, there was a little spark set there.
Exactly. And then it wasn't until I realized that I was about to graduate and you were coming to visit Puerto Rico that I remember I Snapchat texted you and I told you, I have an idea. I want to run it by you. I want to see what you think. And that idea was this. It was Quip Save. And at first what I was starting to get to, that I went into this huge tangent with the college stuff, is that it was scary.
Yeah.
Because again, I was gonna graduate. Once I graduate, I have 6 months where I'm okay, and then I have to start paying my student loans again. And like, even my mom was telling me just like, hey, I don't want to dissuade you from following your passion, because that's the only thing I would ever want you to do. Follow your dreams and follow what's going to make you happy. But you got to realize that you got this thing. And if things don't work out, you have to have a backup plan, and you might have to work a job and all this stuff just to be able to hold those payments back. So it's a lot of things in my head going just like, I either play it safe or I take the risk, right? But I've known Munch for a very long time. I know the kind of person he is. I know the kind of passion.
I'm here to take the risks for you.
Please, sugar daddy, give me the sugar. But it was definitely like at some point I just put my foot down and I said, I either do it, take the risk and take the chance of it succeeding and going super well and maybe not working out and having to find something else, or I just sit down in fear of like thinking that it's never going to work out, or I'm not the kind of person to make this work, and then always resenting myself for never taking the shot to do it.
You miss all the shots you don't take.
Exactly. As generic as it sounds, that's pretty much what it comes down to. You either take the risk.
Well, those generic quotes are generic for a reason. It's like they're told a lot, and it's because, it really does work out for, well, not all the time, but, that's why you take the shot.
Exactly. And, like, the risk was me, like, putting some money aside to take a plane over here, be in Chicago for 3 weeks, and we told ourselves, all right, we're going to take these 3 weeks to just blast, like, pre-record a whole bunch of content, because this is where we're going to start getting into Austin. Your contract.
Oh, yeah, that was the segue that I was going to. So RTX was in Austin, and now we happen to be moving to Austin.
Mostly because when we went there, we fucking loved it. Like,
well, not totally related either, because there's actually a lot of reasons. But yeah, I like the city too.
Yeah.
It's like they say the least Texas part of Texas, right?
Not trying to say that Texas is bad, but...
Not my vibe. I'll just straight up say it.
I would say, like, maybe it's not my vibe, but, like, Austin is very different from any other place in Texas.
Yeah, they got Uber scooters, dude.
Uber scooters. And they got hipsters.
My favorite.
But we went there, we loved the city, and Austin is, like, a place that's booming right now, dude. It's booming in a lot in technology and, like, media.
I've known they have Funimation there for, like, the longest time.
Mm-hmm. They got fucking they got 6th Street.
Oh yeah.
Which is great. And they got South by. They got South by, which is another thing.
Yeah, South by Southwest.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of, like, going on in just the industry, media, and, like, just all that kind of...
Yeah, the Alamo Draft House.
Internet culture.
This is crazy. And so basically what's going to happen is that in April, we're going to be moving out of Chicago and moving to Austin, Texas. And that will be, for now, the official headquarters of Quipsave.
Now I'm trying to get out of here because Chicago's fucking expensive too, dude.
It is. I've noticed, like, it's pretty pricey. It's a nice city. It's cleaner than most cities.
I've loved my time here, though.
Yeah.
Like, I'd say I made the most of living in Chicago downtown. Had a lot of fun the last 3 years, but... your boy Munch is getting a little old. It's time to, settle down and get myself a little horses in the back and just have a good old time in Texas. But actually, I have some family there too. So
yeah, that's true.
That's why I said there's multiple reasons why
it's also cheaper.
I decided on Austin. But yeah, it's definitely cheaper. Austin is a really nice city, and I'll be paying the same rent here, but for 2 extra rooms.
Oh yeah. That's the other big benefit. It's a lot fucking cheaper with a lot more space. Not that this isn't a nice apartment, because it is.
This is the bachelor pad, though, dude. We need bigger and better.
Yeah, we need to start making wifey material house, that kind of stuff.
Are you the wifey?
Yep.
Hell yeah! You gonna cook?
Yep.
Wifely duties?
Yeah, I'm gonna like
cook clean wifely duties.
I'm gonna wear nothing but an apron.
Yes. Finally.
Fucking. I'm gonna be the meal.
It's the real reason to move to Austin.
But and that basically segues into, I came here for 3 weeks so that we could pre-record a bunch of content and have content that we could release in those 2 months, in the months of March and February and the beginning of April, so that by the time we get to Austin, there was no downtime in between. Because it would be not only a dumb idea, but unfair to you guys if we just record stuff here and then Quipsave posts nothing for like the next 2 months.
Yeah, that would just be bad all over the place.
Yeah, that would just be like career suicide.
The other thing would be if we like held back all the content until we moved, but that would be like, what, 3 months of just
doing nothing.
Yeah.
And like originally the idea was just like us pre-recording all of the content while we were here and then releasing it during the months of February and March until we moved, but Temtem came out. And we ultimately decided that it was a better idea to capitalize on the popularity of this new game coming out rather than just...
Plus, one of my philosophies personally has always been to just jump into it,
jump into it.
Philip DeFranco taught me best. You gotta just jump into it, guys.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if you just jump and slip on some ice and crack all your front teeth. At least you did it. Oh, shit. I was away from the mic there for a second.
You've been fucking...
I didn't even realize.
Hey, guys.
So we're going to do the podcast from over here now.
Great channel.
Subscribe. Quality stuff. Always thinking about it.
Become one of our little subs.
But actually, starting it right off the bat, even though it has put us to do a lot more work in a shorter span of time, has ultimately ultimately been way more beneficial. Capitalizing on that Temtem hype.
I think so too, because the more we held it back, I feel like then a lot of factors can start kind of like influencing, like, do I really want to do this? Like, how are we going to do this? You basically overthink it, you know?
Exactly.
And that was always a problem with me, is overthinking stuff. So that's why I've kind of been,
that's visible
for the longest time, been thinking or been living by this philosophy. Just do it, you know?
Yeah, that's visible in your editing too. You are a huge perfectionist with your editing, man.
Oh yeah.
You guys should see this. Like, the biggest example was just like you were editing one episode of Temtem, and I finished like 4 episodes of Kakarot.
I'm a madman.
And but you've been getting a lot better at it though, because like you realized how late into the night it's made you go into editing, and you're just like, fuck this, I'm not doing this anymore.
It really depends on the video, but yeah, that's another reason why like MunchingOrange needs to evolve, because the editing process, like, that's what mostly takes the toll on me. Mm-hmm. And if I'm going to be putting X amount of hours into one video, it better be a damn good video, you know, not just episode 38 of whatever playthrough.
Plus, it kind of sucks when you put, like, a lot of work into a video and then, like, it gets, like, no traction.
Yeah. But to me, that doesn't really bother me as much, because I feel like another thing is I don't really like, I do put a lot of work into it, and I'm kind of a perfectionist, but I'm never like, oh, this video is not going to be good enough type of thing, you know? Yeah. Like, I just get through it, and I'm like, all right, publish it, whatever.
Oh, that wasn't me. I think all my videos are gold, so when they don't get a bunch of traction, I'm just like, you guys don't know comedy! No, it's not even that. Like, it doesn't actually bother me either, because like I said, most of the time, it's not that I don't make these videos for the audience, but a lot of the times I really do make these videos for me and to like make myself laugh. And that's why I really like, I get super happy and I get a huge smile on my face when I see you guys comment how much you found it funny too, because then it's just like, they think what I find funny is funny too. Yeah. And it's super motivating. So like, guys, don't think that commenting on videos is like pointless and you all get lost into the ether that is YouTube comments, because like, we do read them, even if we don't get through all of them. But we do read them, and it's always a huge motivating factor.
On Quipsave, it hasn't been too tough. Like,
no, not at all. But like the few comments we have gotten are usually always fucking gold, dude.
You guys are some funny.
You guys are some funny little boys. You guys should start your own channels. In fact, work for us. We'll intern you. We won't pay you, but
we'll give you Uber Eats.
We'll give you Uber Eats, exactly. We'll DoorDash some Shake Shack for you, which is pretty much all we've been doing.
Jeez, dude, this has not been good. Like,
oh, no.
I'm excited to actually get back to trying to cook, too, because the whole time you've been here, and then before you got here, my girlfriend was visiting, right? So, pretty much whenever anyone's, like, here visiting, I end up, I guess, putting all my time into that, like, taking people out, seeing Chicago, eating out, and
eating them out.
Well, that's just a special treatment for you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Even Karen doesn't get that. But, oh well. She's going to have to get used to it in Austin. But...
yeah, I don't know. We got a lot pre-recorded for Quipsave. So
I'm
definitely excited to see how I can handle my own things now while also maintaining Quipsave, because it's going to be a little bit different, you know, what you're going to be seeing on both channels, I guess. Than what you've been used to maybe just from my side, but it's exciting times.
Yeah, and it's not to say that like Munch is completely shifting his focus to Quipsave and he's just gonna abandon his own channel. Of course not, because
then everyone will blame you.
Yeah, exactly. Then
and it is your fault.
And then I would tell them, suck it up, bitch. Stop crying. Wah wah. Boo boo. Give me your money. But no, it's just like this will give him an opportunity to like take things a little bit easier and like also experiment a little bit more with his Pokemon content and bring you stuff that's like not only his usual Let's Plays, but like, you know, stuff that he also believes that you guys can enjoy, you know, still pertaining to Pokemon. And then like all of his more experimental things and all of the more like other games and skits and comedy, because it's pretty evident, but we're not just going to be doing like Let's Plays. We're also going to be doing like skit comedies, live action stuff, as you can see, a podcast. And Quip Save is pretty much that. It's like where he can flex his little funny boy wings and then MunchingOrange is where he can really focus on Pokemon without feeling like he's letting all of his other ideas just like fade away in his brains.
This podcast really needs a face cam eventually.
Why? Because you have your hood literally over your face, only showing your mouth?
Yeah. Like, eventually that's something I'm excited about, too, because I've always loved setting up my apartment and wherever I live, you know, just decking it out. So when we do get the whole setup in Austin, we're going to have a dedicated office room. So yeah, the podcast will hopefully have a little set and everything so you guys can see our beautiful faces and not just hear our lovely voices and all that. So,
and my face is very beautiful.
Although you can't really see my face right now.
No, not right now.
I'm literally it's not just the hoodie covering it. I wish I could explain it, but
you look like this. You look like a Simpson character's asshole.
Maybe I'll
exactly
take
what you
where's
look
my
like.
phone? Hold up.
Yeah. I'll take a picture of you. Don't worry about it.
All right.
This is the live action stuff that hopefully they'll get to be able to see.
This is the improv that we need.
Oh, that's beautiful. There we go. We got it. We'll show it to you guys in the video. Don't worry.
And this is just me for some reason being fidgety and
yeah, I don't understand even how. It's hot in here. It is not cold in here right now. And you're covering your entire head in a hoodie.
I need to be doing something with my hands always. I don't know if
Bro,
that's
you've got something. You've got to have like ADHD or something.
I think it might be more on the OCD side, but like a mild. Because I think it's related to the editing thing. Like, I'm very picky about certain things. It's weird. I don't know what it is. I've never gone to get diagnosed or anything, but...
I did. I have ADHD. I've been diagnosed since I was 12.
12 years old.
Ooh, 12. But
I can't stand seeing the Audacity screen. How dare you?
Fuck you. I do what I want. And you can't do anything.
That's why we'll make sure to have
that.
a timer when we get the office set up too.
That's another thing we always forget. Even when we're doing Let's Plays, we always forget to put the timer.
I don't forget. I just don't like it.
We're like opposites, dude. When I'm like doing a Let's Play, because I know that when I go on a tangent, I go on a tangent and I don't stop until I'm done. And the next thing I know, I look at the recording. I've been going for 3 hours for something that was going to be a 15-minute video.
Jeez.
So I have to have the timer in order to like control myself.
Well, I don't know if it's because I've been recording for like over 10 years now, but I've got this pretty good usually notion of time, aside from when I, get sucked into the void of League of Legends.
Yeah.
But like when I'm recording for my channel or just going out and about, like playing Pokemon Go or whatever, even if I'm not looking at the clock, like I can always kind of tell how long it's been. Like, do you ever get the thing where you think in your head like, oh, it's probably like 5:30 right now, then you look at your phone and it's like 5:35?
Yes.
Like that happens to me all the time.
That happens to me, except in a situation where I really do want time to go fast.
Oh.
Like when I'm in class, I'm just like, all right, it was 3 o'clock since I last checked my phone. It should at least be 4:27.
And then it's 3:05.
It's 3:15. That shit also happens to me. So I'm not very confident in my natural like time telling clock abilities.
You're not very good at alarms either. This morning you set an alarm and it rang like at least 7 times before you finally decided to wake your ass up. And I'm like, why even put an alarm at that point?
Don't
like,
fucking
just let
blame me
yourself
for this.
wake up naturally.
Because, dude, I was editing until like 6 in the morning yesterday, which is technically today.
Yeah, and you kept me up with your little clickety-clackety because this apartment has no doors for some reason.
I don't clickety-clackety that hard.
No, you're right, it wasn't. And I'm a pretty heavy sleeper, so that doesn't really bother me.
And like, I went to bed like at 6 in the morning, and I put an alarm for 12 because I still had to edit the last like quarter of it and draw the thumbnail. And then you were impressed. Because that wasn't even the first time I did that.
What?
Remember what was the video I was editing that I stayed until like 5 in the morning editing, and then I like woke up before both of you guys and I kept editing. And
I was impressed by the thumbnail. What did you meant like how you woke up and instantly went back to it?
Instantly went back to it.
Yeah, I do that sometimes too, but I like mornings are my worst time.
Oh yeah, same here.
I can't, dude. It's rough. I need like at least an hour to like actually, awaken like the spot, or what is it, Snorlax and his Z move.
That's my fucking alarm thing. It's an alarm thing that like it keeps going to make sure I don't fall back asleep, and then it's like it's also kind of like a constant annoyance
I
that
hate
forces
that, dude.
me
It's
to wake me
torture.
up. I know
torture,
it's
dude.
annoying, and I'm sorry, but being able to wake up like that and just sit back down and keep editing just goes to show you how much this shit.
The dedication this man is putting
Because
in.
like I didn't even do that for college, dude. I like for college I would wake up and my campus was 5 minutes from my house.
And you'd like
And I
leave
would
your house
still get to
literally a
class
minute
like an
before.
hour late.
Jesus.
But that was also added benefit of my professors knowing that even though I would get there late, I would still get an A and everything. So eventually my professor was just like, "Oh yeah, good morning, Gabe." Like, and I would get an hour late and they would still be just like, "Good morning." And I would just like sit down and just like be in class.
Well, like good afternoon at that point.
Nah, all my classes were early because even though I'm a terrible early person, I prefer to have the day be done earlier.
Yeah. I understand that, but I can never actually succeed at it.
The execution is the hard part.
Yeah. Because, like, it is a nice feeling to be done with all your work and all of your tasks you needed done in the day, like, and it's still, like, 5 p.m. or 4 p.m. or whatever.
And then you could just do whatever you want.
But I'm so bad at that. So, like, my cycle is usually I get done with everything at, like, 10 p.m. and then stay up playing games until, like 6.
Yeah, 6 in the morning. And I got to get rid of that fucking habit.
Yeah.
But,
we'll get there eventually.
Yeah, we will.
When
We will.
Move in together and
When-
everything. That'll be
When we
much different.
open up an office and get employees and we actually have to be like stand-up bosses and just
Man.
be like
That's like a far off dream right now, but it's definitely possible.
Yeah, I mean we've talked about it amongst us that like if this really does go as well as we hope / expect it does, eventually
I have no expectations
we're thinking I wouldn't say I have expectations. It's kind of like a combination
Remember
of both.
what you taught me. It's something about women and expectations.
Munch, women have this thing in their bodies called expectations. That's not even my joke. That's from Chowder. I love Chowder.
Dude, did you know Chowder was the show where I got my username from?
Yep, you told me where there was
Yeah.
like an episode of like these oranges that had mouths.
It's the minced meat pie, I think it was called. And they were actually peaches. They weren't even
they weren't
oranges.
even oranges?
But they were little fruits with mouths on them. Orange fruits.
How annoyed were you when annoying orange happened?
I don't care. People would comment about it, but like
I would have been annoyed as shit. I would have been like, this motherfucker, this citrus son of a bitch.
well, to be honest, it doesn't really help, but it's not a bad thing to have
it's true.
two things related, orange, you know, because there was actually this other dude called MunchingOrange for a while who did Minecraft.
Oh, what happened to him?
I think he's still around probably, but because our usernames were like so close, people would always think that we were
Yeah.
like related or not related, but like we knew each other or something.
Which is pretty much what
So
happened
it
with us.
kind of helped out, you know, like
Which is pretty much what happened with us being the same height, looking somewhat vaguely similar, having the same haircut, having the same last name, both being Puerto Rican.
to where literally our art teacher, like still to this day, calls us brothers.
Yeah, refuses to believe that we aren't related.
Well, that's because we are.
Yeah,
technically.
it is because we are, but
But that was the whole joke is
Yeah.
that it started in school.
it started in school and it's followed us ever since. But I mean, it's led to a lot of funny situations. So there are still people who ask me to just
It still happens, dude. When I posted that Insta story when I first went to Puerto Rico recently, or not first, but I go pretty
Yeah.
often. But the last time I was there,
Yeah.
people on Insta legitimately were like, dude, you guys are twins. And then you put on my glasses and it was like, dude.
What the fuck? What the fuck? They smashed their phone against the floor
jeez.
because they can't handle it. Oh man, no, but that's brought a lot of fucking funny situations and a lot of funny little jokes on our Let's Plays. But
So, yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to...
I mean, I definitely do want to explain a little bit more what we're gonna get up to. I kind of like briefly explained how we're not just gonna be doing Let's Plays. We're also gonna be doing like skits and funny things and other funny hee-hees. But you know, it's pretty much going the same route of like any other YouTuber, I'd imagine. Like, we're just gonna start out us having our fun doing our videos. Eventually, we'll think about maybe opening up a Patreon. Right now, like, the only real like stretch goal that we ever talked about is just like a big dream of ours is to just like have our own like little office space. to like do our things away from home, because I feel like even though it's nice not having like
I can't fucking stand seeing you all the time, dude. I would lose it. We need that.
Oh, but then I went to literally like take a shit earlier for a while. I wasn't even gone for 2 minutes and you were already crying and going, "Where did you go? Where did you go? Come back." Like that. Like literally like going, "I'm back." And I was just like, "I'm just dropping a deuce. I'll be there."
Well, that's just because you took my phone with you.
I don't see you. Where go?
Why'd you have to take my phone with you into the bathroom?
Because I told you needed to stop looking up that low punny porn for at least 5 minutes. Because every time we finish recording, that's the first thing you do. You open up your fucking phone, you go on Safari.
It's an addiction, dude. It's not that hard to get over.
And that's why I keep taking your phone away from you. You either cut it cold turkey or you go to therapy. But you're like, "No, I don't want to go to therapy. I don't want to pay money to get over my low punny porn. It's embarrassing."
Cold turkey is like the worst thing you could do.
I know.
Why is that the term, by the way, cold turkey?
Because I'd imagine that's the worst way to eat turkey.
Is it? I've had deli sandwiches with cold turkey. It's not bad.
But if you could have a deli sandwich with hot turkey.
No. I'd probably still... It's a deli sandwich.
But hot turkey is better than cold turkey. So you want to quit hot turkey, not cold turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
I'm down.
That's what I'm saying. But basically what I was saying is just like, it's kind of nice to have to keep work away from home, because then it starts blurring the line and you don't want to have work on your mind all the time. So like that's eventually something we want to get to, having our own little separate office space so that work can be there and then our lives can continue once we're out of there, you know? Because I've gotten that advice from a lot of people, especially when you're like in a relationship. It's just like when you're in a relationship and you guys, especially if you work in similar fields, don't talk work at home. Because I don't remember the exact specifics of it, but people usually say it's not, you know, it's better to just leave work at work.
Yeah.
And just like live your life when you're in it, you know? Don't let work distract you from just like your everyday living.
I've had, well, not myself, but friends that have had experiences like that where their significant other would come home and just always talk about work, and they would just like could not handle that.
Yeah, because it's the same. It's the same shit every day.
Yeah.
Even if something slightly different happened at work, it's pretty much the same fucking foundation. And I'd imagine anybody would get tired of that shit. I mean, it's fine if you do it every once in a while.
You won't guess what Jenny did today. Oh my
let me
fucking
guess.
God, I don't give a shit about Jenny.
Thing she did yesterday. Yeah, I know, right? I just like, I don't know. I feel like that would be grating in any situation. It's fine to do it every once in a while because like every once in a while your significant other, your friend could give you some good advice, but it's not, don't do it every day. Don't constantly become like, "You won't believe what happened in the office today."
It's really nice though, especially with something like YouTube where you're always like, well, usually it's an at-home thing, but eventually you want to have that separation. I guess more so with gaming too, you know, because gaming's something you usually do for like leisure, to relax or whatever. Well, maybe not to relax these days. Online games can be probably more stressful than work.
For sure.
But it's like an escape, you know, and when you do it for a living, for a job, in the same space that you usually relax in, it's like really hard to separate, like when it's work game time versus like
play game
play,
time.
yeah.
And then like eventually like you want to go home and play the games you want to play, because sometimes like it's kind of like what's happening now with Temtem. Like Pokemon games and the such have never been like my thing. It's not that I don't enjoy them.
Temtem is your ting ting?
Yeah, Temtem's my ting of my tum tum. But it's like I've never been a big Pokemon dude. Like maybe when I was a kid, but nowadays not anymore. So like we're doing the Temtem playthrough, and like I won't say I'm tired of it or I'm bored of it, but it's definitely kind of just like I could only do it in like small doses. And like imagine how it feels that you got to go and you got to record this game, which is, yes, it's a video game, games are fun, whatever, but it's not the game you want to be playing. So like it's good to like have that at work, and then you could go home and I could just fucking play League and suffer different.
Hasn't happened to me yet, at least with
Well,
Quip
yeah, because
Save,
you fucking love Temtem.
No, I mean, like, I just love every game except for like shooting games usually.
Yeah, but no, like I was having a lot of fun when we were doing our Resident Evil one. Yeah. And even with Kakarot, I really enjoy Kakarot. I'm kind of bummed that it's not as popular as Temtem.
That's what I'm saying. Like, even though I'm not the one playing those games, like I don't get like tired or bored of like watching you play.
No, I'm not tired of bored of Temtem. I'm not like miserable. All I'm saying is I could only take it in small doses because there's a lot of nothing in that game. There's a lot of times where you're just like walking, and it's the same fucking Temtem, same fucking Temtem, the same. Even though trainers have the same goddamn Temtem, and after a while, it gets kind of just like, God, something new, please happen, please, por favor, please stop, please.
Imagine being a shiny hunter.
Oh, God.
That sounds like a fun career choice.
Nope. No, it does not. I don't know how you pokey people do it.
I don't.
To be honest. And same thing with like the EV and the IV training for like professional fighters, like trainers.
Yeah.
God, I tried to do it. Like I explained it in the Pokemon Stadium video that I played competitively.
It's fun to do like once.
Yeah,
you get that one perfect Pokemon, and then you're like, I'm gonna head out.
I did it for my whole team of 6.
Jeez.
And it took me forever, and it was not worth it.
Yeah, because then you're just stuck using that one team, and then you're like, okay, maybe I want to, get a different team. Oh shit, it's gonna take me another two weeks.
27 years. And it was the fucking worst. And the only reason I even did it is because I had a shiny Gengar.
This is why, like, on my channel at least, my main thing that I like doing was always constantly starting up different playthroughs, because like I can't. Pokemon is repetitive no matter which one you're playing. It's kind of the same thing, but at least in a lot of games, in fan games, you get like different Pokemon sometimes, a completely different story, different elements depending on the game. So I don't know. Most other Pokemon YouTubers, I would say, just repeat the same thing over and over. I can't do it, dude.
Throwing shade?
I mean, it's not really. I guess I admire their commitment. I can't do it, dude. I can't sit there and just do the same thing over and over. It's not me.
I mean, you've been pretty much doing it for, 10 years?
Yeah.
So that's still admirable.
Yeah. I guess I just meant specifically like that. EV training, shiny hunting.
Oh, yeah.
It's not. It is something I like doing, but more on my own time, like when I'm watching like Netflix or an anime or something.
Yeah, or a stream.
Yeah.
I understand that 100%.
But not as like, this is my job that I'm just going to sit here and do this for 2 hours.
Yeah, and IV train for the rest of fucking forever.
Yeah.
No, I've never, like... It's kind of like how I explained, dude. The first Pokemon game I played was like the original Red. And then like I didn't play another one until like the remakes. Then I played Emerald. And then I played Diamond and Pearl. And then I didn't play until like X and Y. And then that was the last ones I ever played. And ever since then, I never touched Pokemon.
Well, you stopped at a good time, dude. Because after that, well, Omega Ruby was alright. But then Sun and Moon, I don't know.
Weren't a big fan of that?
Things just changed after it went 3D. It like the franchise, the focus of it really shifted towards just like, we need to make 100 new cute creatures to make merchandise of, like, I don't know. It's more formulaic than it ever was before,
like
even though it's always been a formula.
It felt like it got corralled a little bit.
It's always been a formula, but I guess that formula became way more blatant, obvious, like linear, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, like to an extent, every game is almost the same thing, just reskinned.
Pretty much.
So
I mean, we've been new.
Yeah, that's why I always like the fan games. That was the point I'm trying to make. Like, because the fans actually know how to make a good Pokemon game. It's weird, but man, I don't know.
It's kind of like why I fell in love with Monster Hunter, because even though Monster Hunter at its foundation is the same throughout the games, they always try to find a way to reinvent or mix up what comes out of that foundation. It's not just like same Monster Hunter, new monsters.
It's an upgrade instead of a side grade.
An upgraded Monster Hunter with new monsters. Mm-hmm. You know how like in Generations they added the Hunter Hearts and the styles and all that stuff. In World they added like tempered augmentations, blah blah blah, and all that stuff. That even though it follows the foundation of what Monster Hunter is, it switches shit up that doesn't feel superficial. Because like, I don't know why they got rid of Mega Evolutions, dude.
Whew, that's a whole topic.
That's a whole can of worms.
We'll definitely have a Pokemon episode.
Yeah, a Pokemon episode of the podcast where you could like really just like open up the Pokemon thesaurus on me.
Yeah, but you know we should keep this one a little more focused, right? Like,
no, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's episode 0, man. This is like our first attempt at a podcast.
Yeah, you're right.
So we're very.
I feel like we've already had a couple of little branching conversation tangent things.
But then again, like, I feel like I hear this out of every podcast person that they're always just like, man, we've really been rambling on about nonsense. But it's just like,
the rambles are the best part.
That's the best part because, like, yeah, of course you think it's obnoxious or not entertaining because you're with yourself every single day. And you think this shit all the time and you know who you are. But the people who you're giving this to, this is like they're finally getting to know you.
I just feel like I could talk about Mega Evolutions for a whole hour or so.
Oh, yeah. Well, trust, I'm stopping you there. I just mentioned it for a little bit. I'm not going to let you run on that tangent because that could be a whole nother hour.
Where's my Mega Flygon?
Oh, man, dude. Why didn't Flygon ever get a Mega? And let's shut up about that. I was about to go on a tangent of just like, how dare they not give Flygon a Mega?
But they gave Salamence a croissant.
They made him a fucking boomerang. Why didn't they make Flygon a didgeridoo? But... yeah, Quip Save, man. Quip Save. We're excited. We're really excited to just do this stuff, man. Like, it's been going super well so far. We already have 13 videos up on the channel, and we've been consistent with it. And we're going to keep being consistent with it, man. Like, for now, it's going to be a little simple. We have our Let's Plays. Every once in a while, we'll have a skit. But once April comes around, that's when things are really going to, like... that's when we're going to be finally settled.
Kick into overdrive.
And, we're going to be able to do the podcast more frequently. We're going to get more into skits. Eventually, like, who knows? Maybe later down the lines, there'll be collabs, you know. There's a lot of possibilities. But right now, we're focused on what we're doing now.
Cooking with Gabe?
Yes! Oh, I would love to do a cooking show at some point.
5-minute crafts?
5-minute crafts with Gabe. And it's just like me getting all the ingredients and then going on a 5-minute tangent.
That's actually one thing I want to do is like, because you already mentioned like we're going to be doing stuff that a lot of other YouTubers do.
Yeah.
And like one thing is like reactions. I already told you I want to get into doing at least some of those, like reacting to popular trendy things.
We're going to be the Fine Brothers too.
I also want to try to do like the craft channel things.
Yeah.
But like us trying to do it just without instructions.
Without instructions, yeah.
I think that would be hilarious.
Yeah, that would be pretty funny. Considering like we both have like artistry backgrounds.
Yeah. Like one thing I want to try to do is have you seen those Pokemon clay channels where they try to make the Pokemon out of clay? Mm-hmm. I'm trying. That would be funny, but like without any prior experience.
I
like,
would be terrible.
Attempting to make
I was
Pokemon
always
clay
terrible
things.
at sculpting, man. Sculpting class was always like.
That's why it'd be hilarious. The thumbnail could just be the deformed final creature you make. It's like, okay.
Drunk drawing where it's just like having to draw Pokemon from memory and shit.
Yeah.
That would be really fun.
Yeah,
too.
Challenges too. That could be fun.
That would be pretty fucking great. And like hell, I've even thought of like the possibility of music because I'm very like into singing, and you're very into like writing music and all that kind of stuff. And
oh, dude, yeah, I'm a ghostwriter for at least 20 YouTube channels.
20 YouTube channels at least. One would even say 30 YouTube.
Billie Eilish might be one of them.
Billie Eilish.
I actually wrote that tweet hating on rap music. I ghostwrote that.
Oh man, we're getting some fucking exposés here right now. That's crazy. But no.
Watch your back, Belly.
Belly, we got your back. don't let the Twitter's peoples get you down. We got your back, Belly.
Jesus, that doesn't even make sense. The belly's on the front, dude. How can you have the belly's back?
That's true, but she's got eyelashes on her belly. So, Quip Save, man, we're gonna do it. This is it.
Quip Save.
This is gonna be the next big thing. You'll see. We're gonna be up there with the greats like Ryan's reviews.
Ryan Toys Reviews?
Ryan Toys Reviews. Review Bra.
5-minute crafts. Dude, they've got like 3 shout-outs already. That is, dude, I swear that they used to commentate. I'm going to find it. I'm going to show you because they were hilarious.
Find it. It'll be a gem.
But now they just do like little Instagram, royalty-free shit, but whatever.
Funny thing is, we were actually thinking of going to Cali instead of Texas.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, that was the thing for a while.
I mean, California's a dream, but like... it's an expensive-ass dream.
It's a dream if you don't look at it.
I'll take a minute to process that one.
Dude, all I ever hear is just, like, people from LA are just, like, it's a dream in Hollywood movies and all this stuff, but once you go there, you're just, like, why does this place smell like piss? Why is there garbage everywhere?
Yeah.
Why is everyone flipping me off?
That's actually one thing I appreciated about Chicago is it's a major city, but, man, the streets are clean.
I have not seen a single bit of trash.
Yeah.
At all. Like, not even in the alleyways. We keep passing by that one alleyway, and it's clean as hell.
It's fine, yeah. Aside from homeless people, which are, like, in every city, you know?
Yeah, but that's everywhere.
Yeah.
Poor on them, but... I don't. But yeah, there was the time we were thinking of going to Cali, and then eventually Mo was just like, "That place sounds expensive. Never mind." And I was just like, "Oh, thank God."
I went there a couple times too, and like, I think I've experienced enough of the Cali lifestyle to where I'm like, you know, let's let them do their thing.
Let them do their thing. We'll do our thing over here.
Yeah, we need to do our thing.
If we have to do collabs, we'll just fly out there for like a couple of days, and that's it.
We'll figure it out.
Because that was pretty much the only thing that we were even considering going over there for. Like, just being close to other people we know and collaborate.
Stand outside of
work.
Markiplier's house.
Yeah, and just go like, Mark, I know you're in there.
I got President Obama here.
I got Mark. Michelle told me to come get you. It's the Quip Save boys.
You gotta collab with these Quip Save boys.
You gotta collab with the Quip Save boys. They're funny.
So yeah, our channel's approved by former President Obama.
Not approved by the Californian citizens, but approved by the Austin, Texas citizens. And once April comes around, the official move is done. This is it, boys. Quipsave is a new thing, and I hope that you'll be able to, and you'll desire to continue to support us on our future endeavors, everything that comes along, and we'll promise in turn that we'll be consistent with everything that we do, and we'll do our best to bring respectable but also horribly inappropriate for younger audiences content that you'll continue to enjoy.
I don't know where respectable came from.
Future.
Jesus, that's like the furthest thing from us. But
thank you.
Quipsave coming to an IMAX near you.
Thank you for tuning in for episode 0.
You could say it's coming in your eye. Because it's IMAX. Coming in your eye.
I fucking get it. That's good. Okay. Fuck off.